Berlioz was 22 years old when he was living at 96 Rue de Richelieu in Paris, a stone's throw from the Opéra Comique. One September night, and not speaking a word of English, he went there to see a production of Shakespeare. He fell instantly in love with the actress playing Juliet and Ophelia, the young Harriet Smithson. He aimlessly wandered the streets of Paris for days, unknowingly passed her and bizarrely what would also become his future address on the Rue Saint-Marc, finally slumping in a corner at the Café Cardinal, where after 12 hours the waiters were afraid to go near him for fear he may have died. So Berlioz decided to write a piece about this and called it the Fantastic Symphony. And it has 5 parts or movements, and in each movement Berlioz is minding his own business, and then she appears with this melody. And after she appears, the whole mood of the movement is transformed. The first one is Dreams, the second one is the Waltz. And then the waltz is probably the clearest example of how a composer, how a musician puts notes together in order to show that all is well, then an event, and that all is not well after that. Take the waltz, for example. Here we've got basses and cellos on the bass note, giving a very stable pulse, and then slightly higher up, second violins and violas doing the second and third beats of the bar. So you put these together and it's 1, 2. On top of this, there's a melody from the first violins. I'm going to use a shorthand version here because I need to do both bass and violas and cellos on the left hand, so I'm going to do this. So, all is well, all is as it should be. Then she appears. And the basses and cellos suddenly do this figure, which is his heart leaping when he's suddenly seen her across the room. And the fascinating change in the orchestration shows that now, whereas before we had this Berlioz changes this. The basses and cellos now no longer play just on one, but they do this insisting figure. They don't even change the note when the harmony changes. On top, you have woodwind instruments going. The first violins no longer play the melody, instead they do these kind of quirky little figure. And the melody has disappeared from this nice, pleasing, light register. And it's gone all the way down here. And if you put that together with the basses, it sounds quite lumpy, and it's like he's trying to find his feet again. He's trying to force himself to dance, but he can't find the beat anymore. Sounds pretty horrible as waltzes go. Now, Berlioz didn't invent these resources. They're just resources that musicians use even to today. If you hear any film soundtrack, you know, a chase scene will have fast music, ominous scene will have low note. These are all universal things, but so they can be traced to earlier than Berlioz himself. And Berlioz greatly admired Beethoven, and Beethoven was a master of using these devices to show joy, turmoil, whatever. And there's a very famous piece by Beethoven called the Coriolan Overture, which starts with some really dramatic held notes and chords like this. So immediately you can tell something really dramatic is going to happen. Now, what does he do in the Coriolan Overture? Well, you have to see what Coriolan is about. Coriolan is about a Roman general who betrayed his side, defected to the other side, and then betrayed that side as well. So he had nowhere to go. And different playwrights have written their own versions of the Coriolan, including Shakespeare. But what Beethoven was interested in showing was not how the story ends, but the inner turmoil that Coriolan feels by having these conflicting emotions. And he does this like this. He gives the basses and cellos an insisting figure. And he gives the violins an offbeat figure. At the same time that is happening, the bassoons have another offbeat figure, which is kind of woven into this, but it creates even more turmoil because the strong beats are in different places from the violins. The bassoons play. And at the top, the oboes are doing etc. When you put all this together, it creates a really uneasy sense of upheaval, which is exactly what Beethoven wanted to show. So Berlioz picked up on these things when he wrote his Symphony Fantastique and decided to show his turmoil in 5 separate scenes of the Symphony Fantastique.